In the upper left, in the blue, he is for Team Liquid. It's SKillous.
And his opponent spawning down on the bottom right for the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. Now, I gotta say, this is kind of cool because if you look at their historical matchups, they've played a decent amount, and it's pretty close to an even split. It's a small advantage for SKillous, but the order in which that has happened is extremely intriguing because they are 6-5 in series, and ShaDoWn won the first 5 series, and SKillous has won the most recent 6. That is almost something that we almost never have, and it really matches up with what you're talking about asymptotic skill. Oh, look at this. ShaDoWn was trying to get cheeky maybe with a proxy pylon right here. SKillous spots it out instantly.
Okay, so now ShaDoWn, you got to do the thing, right? Proxied anyways. SKillous is gonna. The theory behind that is that SKillous is like, well, I scouted this. You don't have to worry about it. There's not gonna be anything there, and then. Well, he's not going to rescout, but he did rescout, so it's not going to work out anyways. And now we're looking at conservative openings from both sides. Yeah, ShaDoWn's not going to get the proxy. That's fine, whatever. It's a 2-gate expand off of both sides here. And, given the fact that it's Gressvon, doesn't really surprise anyone too much. There's no ramp in the natural. And in fairness, the single-gate expand idea, unless your max packs, has really started to fall by the wayside recently. Anyways, it's a little harder to hold on to. So now that we're looking at this, we can start to look at the openers on top of it, right? Double Stalker versus Stalker Adept Stargate. And Steadfast, as we look at how these two players play, I know you said that SKillous is this, he's won the last 6 showings. I mean, really, really solid in this player versus player matchup. What do you expect to see out of SKillous, out of ShaDoWn here? I mean, we see the Stargate coming out of ShaDoWn.
I mean, PvP is such a grab bag. There's so many viable builds. There's so much you can do. And it really does come down to how much information you can get. Now, this Stalker Adept opening from ShaDoWn, which is probably the most niche and newest opening in PvP off the 2-gate, it is going to net him a nice little scout. Oh, he should check that. Okay, I was going to say, he's got to check the natural, and he'll see that. Yeah, that's great information. We did see ShaDoWn opening up with a quick Oracle, which of course is a strong play, but it's kind of unexpected, I think, off of this 3 Stalker Adept opening. Oh, we do see ShaDoWn getting a quick jump on SKillous. SKillous wasn't paying attention there initially, and the Adept, it looks like, did get into the main base. I think it only grabbed... How many probes have got? Okay, grabbed 1 probe, but it's going to be a bit of a dead heat, and... honestly, I think I like this opener for SKillous so far. It's going to be up to the Oracle to find some value, and that is an unexpected Oracle is, I think, the big thing. We got no shield battery in the main base. Yeah, SKillous is actually, he's got no idea. This is fooled him.
Well, okay, so it depends. The Oracle's going to go left side. Maybe there's a world where he gets some... No, that's just going to run right on by. There goes my Copium. So Oracle into the main, but it's a couple of Stalkers warp in. Steadfast, it's only 2, though, so a probe will fall, but given how last second that warp in was, fantastic. Very solid coming in from SKillous right now. And yeah, he's going to have his Stalkers. They're going to be pinned at home for a while. You got to have Stalkers in the main. You got to have Stalkers in the natural. But look at this. There's a follow-up here. It's not just Oracles. I mean, hey, you get a couple probes. That's always nice. It's Dark Shrine on top of that one as well. ShaDoWn is, I think, telling the story that he does not want to play a standard game against SKillous. At least not from equality. So ideally, proxy Stargate didn't happen. Built the Stargate in his main base at home then. Get some damage.
Oh my god.
SKillous, he hallucinate. Does it time out?
Oh,
does
it time out? Expire? Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, jeez. Oh my god, did he see it? Did he see it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, he saw it by the skin of his teeth. Oh my god, that was down to the last millisecond, and he finds the Dark Shrine. That just saved the game for him 100%. but is it even enough time? The Dark Shrine is about to complete. Are there any pylons on the map? Yes, there is one. ShaDoWn is going to have it scouted, though. SKillous will get the cancel on the Warp in DT. What a clutch move from SKillous on the find. That straight up saved the game. Even still, though, the robotics facility is only halfway done. DT is going to warp in on the other side of the map. It's got a long journey, but it still might find some value.
I mean, Steadfast, at this point, the value it's going to find is a single probe or something. You can pull everything into the main. You can force field that off. This DT will not. He's got a full wall in the natural anyways with all these stalkers. He's not going to get anything. Okay, fine. You know what? You might get a single probe. The Robo will not get killed. That's not an opportunity anymore. Oh, he's going to, okay, SKillous, but he's just going to look, at this point, he's confident. We're going to have the Observer is 2/3 of the way out. ShaDoWn gets nothing off of what is, quite realistically, a heavy commitment, but he's going to run for it. SKillous kills one of his own stalkers almost, targets that one down, and the stasis trap as well. Look at the bait here. So yes, we will have the Dark Shrine. It doesn't find much, but stalkers are gonna blink on top. One sentry goes down, second one, third one will fall, and SKillous has just deflected every single thing. But these stalkers now, they are a whole nother problem down DT into the natural. SKillous, how much time do you have? You need your stalkers to come back.
They are about to come back out of the stasis where they wake back up. I was going to say ShaDoWn needs to get out of here. He was staying a little bit long, but it was in order to open the door for his this setup that he's gone for. I do want to point out that SKillous, yeah, up until this point has done such a good job of dealing with everything, even without knowing necessarily what was happening. So, you know, those stalkers that warped into the main base against the early Oracle, that was just him crossing his T's, dotting his I's. Overall, SKillous has played such a good game, but ShaDoWn has been so good about all this. We haven't even talked about ShaDoWn's economy. He's got a 4th base on the way off of this. This is, his +1 is faster. Like, ShaDoWn's macro game is very good behind this. The transitions have all been great, and that little bit of damage he found on the 3rd base has been effective.
That, and he got a stasis trap in the main, so I think there was like 4 probes, which, you know, a quarter of a mineral line is SKillous now is going to look to move forward a little bit, just poking for the time being. That being said, SKillous, you know, we talked about it. He did a good job holding off the first 2 bits of aggression, but the 3rd one is where value really started to happen. But at this point, the game is going to stabilize again, right? This is Grespon, it's PvP, it's hard to kill a 3-base Protoss anyway. So at this point, SKillous, ShaDoWn, same number of probes once again. +1 a little bit faster for ShaDoWn than SKillous, but it's not going to be that relevant of a timing. The big deal, what could end up being a nice advantage, a big deal here, and it seems like ShaDoWn is going to push off of it. His charge is a solid 45 seconds faster than what SKillous has. And you know what, Steadfast? Zealots versus Stalkers, Charge Lots versus Blink Stalkers, you love to have them. So a lot of pressure here on the 4th base. Let's see if SKillous can hold it down.
That is going to be a big ask for him. He does have his +1 weapons done. ShaDoWn with a good concave right now. Defender's advantage will allow the warp-ins to come on in. But now as he cancels the Nexus, this becomes a slow warp-in. He's going to lose these couple of Stalkers. This is ShaDoWn all the way right now. He is playing an excellent game. SKillous, for his part, started up a 2nd Forge, has gone for the 2-1 upgrades.
He's so supply blocked.
I gotta say, he looks so sharp right now.
Yeah, and SKillous is just so supply blocked right now. Losing the Nexus, losing the Pylon. 117 out of 117 for so long, and I mean, you want to look at the fact that ShaDoWn is up 20 army supply. That's a good portion of it. So now the Stalkers are going to move on top, and that's not even SKillous' entire army. He's got to run by on the other side, so he will not win this fight. There's absolutely no way he does. Recall, find his way home now, and SKillous is blinking for his life. He's looking for some time, for some opportunity. The cannon will fall. There's no shield battery here, and you know what? I take back everything I said. Oh man, that concave was so nice for SKillous, and despite half his army being on the other side, ShaDoWn couldn't punch through. He forced the trade, and it seems like it actually, you know, that trade ended up being better for SKillous at the end of the day. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even though ShaDoWn sniped the early shield battery, there was a cannon in the mineral line adding on a lot of DPS. SKillous had that amazing concave. ShaDoWn attacked into it, and it wasn't exactly an anti-timing because, you know, it's even upgrades right now, but he did have a 2 upgrade timing. Finally, we see an observer coming in for ShaDoWn. SKillous, that's the 2nd observer he's actually lost in the last little bit. One of them was sniped by a clutch revelation. Another one did go down here. Now, we will see 2 on upgrades coming online, but that is more relevant kind of for the Zealots here. Great Stalker is going to catch the rotation, and there is a shield battery and a cannon here, but the Concave is going to be a little bit better. Still SKillous with enough units to push this back. His upgrade lead is nice, but not the biggest of deals. Regardless, though, SKillous has done an excellent job holding on. He blinks forward, grabs the Oracle. ShaDoWn does have a slightly better concave, but the reinforcement route is going to be better for SKillous, so he will hold on for the moment.
Yeah, the thing we have to be looking at, though, is ShaDoWn, you know, SKillous just barely got his 4th base up. ShaDoWn has his 5th base done, or yeah, just about close enough here. So he's up 7 workers right now, and oh, this is a nice move. SKillous is slow on the response as well, so this shouldn't get the Nexus, but it will get a couple probes. Does kill some static defenses. Now SKillous again has to build himself that concave once again, but there's no shield battery this time. There's nothing to really bolster the defense. It's really just on whatever he can warp in to make this happen, how good he can blink, and this concave from ShaDoWn is freaking glorious. Steadfast, it's so much wider than anything SKillous can find, so ShaDoWn continues to move forward, continues to find that concave. Defender's advantage seems like at the end of everything, it's going to start to pull forward, that and the armor upgrade as well. So again, ShaDoWn is going to be forced back, but every time this happens, or at least it feels like this time, it was a better trade for ShaDoWn, and given his better economy, if you're trading better and you're mining more, that's good news.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, it seems like the trade was pretty even in terms of army, but it was those 7 extra probes that went down. Still, SKillous is doing a magnificent job of holding from a really uncomfortable position, but ShaDoWn does have the advantage, the tempo advantage right now. He's up 30 army supply. The 3-2 upgrades have not yet kicked in for SKillous. ShaDoWn is really trying to finish this one here. Battery overcharge is available on cooldown as long as he's got energy for it. It will come online very shortly. Oh, SKillous has got to be mindful. It was the stasis ward from earlier. Okay, he does have vision of it. And that will allow him to take it down, but there is a lot of Zealots here. Battery overcharge will get popped. ShaDoWn should disengage or go for the snipe on it. Oh, I think he might have thought that pylon was going to depower it, and that's why he stepped forward into it, but regardless, as long as he doesn't overcommit, it shouldn't be too bad. ShaDoWn does still have a big supply lead, and now the battery overcharge is on cooldown.
Yeah, +3 attack is going to be done in 10 seconds. SKillous has to take the fight before then. He does have 2 armor upgrades, but armor doesn't keep your Nexus alive. He's going to be forced to keep that one back just a little bit as the Zealot starts forward. That's going to be nice for SKillous. He's going to be able to siphon those off, but you're trading a base for things, and that's never nice. So now up 40 army supply. ShaDoWn looks to move forward here, looks to establish the concave, and more importantly, looks to establish a map 1 win in a matchup that he has not won in the last 6 series, the last 7 series effectively that they've played. So ShaDoWn here up on the high ground. SKillous more and more forced away, and at this point, Steadfast, yeah, you know, 2 armor upgrades are nice. They don't make up for a 40 army supply lead for all the tempo that ShaDoWn has, so he's gonna blink right on top of everything. No shield battery overcharge, not anymore. And now ShaDoWn, he seems destined at this point, poised to find his way forward. Even a couple stalkers on the backside will not do anything, and ShaDoWn, he puts himself in good position to find his way forward into this next set. He goes up 1-0. Let's see how SKillous responds in game 2.
Yeah, that was a great showing from ShaDoWn right there. He had multiple game plans to put himself in a position of advantage. We saw, of course, he was prepared for a potential proxy to start things off. That got scouted out. It didn't work out. We saw that the Oracle got checked on the move by SKillous. SKillous with a great warp in at the beginning. Even though we didn't see it coming necessarily, he was able to defend it no problem. We saw that the Dark Shrine got scouted by the skin of his teeth, and he barely survived that. Got the kill on the pylon. Without that pylon going down, the game is over, 100%. SKillous made so many good moves to survive. And then it was that little shield or that little stasis ward that put him into a good position and allowed him to take the tempo advantage. And ShaDoWn really didn't make any mistakes from there. At the very end, he was floating a lot of money, but I mean,
he was nearly maxed out.
He'd already won the game by that point. Yeah. It's fine.
It's one of those things as well where I don't think SKillous was expecting, after the Oracle and after the Dark Shrine, I don't think he was expecting a bunch of Blink Stalkers on top of it, right? It's like, you know, I've denied your 2 aggressive routes and you haven't found anything. the fact that that ShaDoWn ran across the map with, what was it, like 8-10 stalkers and forced SKillous to defend his main, right? Oracle, stasis traps, natural DTs, and third base, a bunch of stalkers at the same time. If you're not ready for that, if you're not mentally prepared to kind of do that triple multitasking thing, that's a lot to deal with. So SKillous maybe caught a little off guard. At the end of the day, though, all that matters is that we have game 1 in the good of the French player, and now see whether Nikita can find his way. He can take us to a second game 3 here in the knockout stage 1 in these best of 3s. As he looks to move on, well, game 2 is ready. That's all that matters. In the upper right, in the blue here on a bit smaller of a map, he's for Team Liquid, SKillous.
And his opponent spawning down on the bottom left for the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. And I gotta say, yeah, honestly, SKillous was prepared for everything. It was just that little addition of the stasis trap that he didn't anticipate, and that was what busted things wide open. And you can see the level of these two players is extremely high. Now, SKillous once again is looking around for a potential probe. So this is really neat from ShaDoWn right here. So what he's done is he sent his probe across the map, crossed over the probe of SKillous. He didn't do that in the first game. He's done it in the second. And SKillous, you can see that he is really responding heavily to this. So ShaDoWn has used the information that he's given and has really just been dragging his opponent around with that. Now, SKillous will eventually find this probe, but all of it was just a fake anyways. And this is just occupying the mental space of SKillous. And it's really cool understanding of his opponent and how his opponent thinks. You can see that here, that ShaDoWn has a really great grasp on SKillous' thought pattern.
No, I love this. And remember, again, this is a setup where I'm going to assume that, SKillous knew this matchup last night. He knew he was going to play a PvP. He knew he was running into ShaDoWn, and he knows that ShaDoWn ran into or beat DNS, Nightmare, and Rail yesterday. So that's a lot of footage, Steadfast. I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. I don't quite know what happened. But if I'm SKillous and I spent, I spent last night reviewing a bunch of PvPs, and if we saw ShaDoWn proxying a lot and doing things like that, then that's just one more kind of layer of the mental trickery of this, where ShaDoWn has I talk a lot about series planning, but ShaDoWn has this opportunity to use the previous 3 PvPs he played as like an extra round of series planning to mess with SKillous' expectations, and we can see that here. I mean, SKillous has been very active scouting for proxies. ShaDoWn is going to get 2 stalkers on 1 and initial shots off, so got to retreat onto the high ground, SKillous. Already, it's not going to be that big of an... Oh, okay, well, the force field's not going to really land, and that's going to be a dead probe. But already here, SKillous losing out on the Stalker War for the moment until he gets a couple more. So now 3-on-2. ShaDoWn's got a backup, but it's small things, Steadfast. But SKillous, a little slow.
Yeah, he was focused on the Adept on the other side of the map. It's funny, they've actually completely swapped openings. They have literally done the exact opposite opening of one another. Very funny right here. We did see ShaDoWn was the one who got the better exchange during the Stalker skirmish. Ooh, nothing in the wall means that this Adept actually can shade forward. We are going to see a couple of Stalkers warping on in defensively, so ShaDoWn is prepared for the Oracle the same way that SKillous was before. Force field coming on in, but there is no follow-through. However, he'll still get a Stalker with this, but he's baited the Stalkers out of the main base, and we can see the difference coming on in. SKillous finds a couple of probes. Oh, this is great, actually, using the Adept to bait the units out of position. He does take a lot of hull damage, but getting those 2 probes is really nice. And yeah, this is an exact opposite mirror, but SKillous, I think, comes out a little bit ahead in terms of the execution was a little bit cleaner overall. However, you can see that there isn't as much mustard to it. There isn't as much spice behind it. No proxy Dark Shrine, no nothing like that. But at the end of the day, fundamentals oftentimes beat, funky strats over a long period of time.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting seeing what happens here, but 5 workers going down early is a lot. So Well, Adepts are going to find their way into the main base, but ShaDoWn should not complete this, right? There are 6 Stalkers there. There's an Oracle on top. It forces, again, something into the mental space. And I was so primed to praise ShaDoWn for, hey, knocking a Stalker down, nice force field play, doing whatever. But again, you're right. The Oracle dives in the main base and far more damage done by SKillous in that setup than losing a single Stalker. And he's getting ready for aggression off this, right? We see the pylon on the map. He's got Blink. Actually, his Blink is going to be faster than ShaDoWn's, and he's the one that opened up with a Stargate as well. So, SKillous, he's allowed to have his cake. He's allowed to eat it too. The one thing he doesn't have is a third base on the way. But as we see the Stalkers run across, it seems somewhat likely here that ShaDoWn's not going to have his third base either.
It's going to be tough for him. The Stalkers are split, of course, to deal with the Oracles. Blink is going to complete for both sides here, so ShaDoWn should be able to protect his Stalkers. Nice force fields right here, but with no shield battery. Well, actually, no, the force fields are great here. They do keep a couple of SKillous' Stalkers out of the fight. Where are the Adepts? They are going to go in now to the natural. The Oracle's at home to defend against those, but SKillous won't be able to get the cancel on the third base, and his third is not even close. We are actually seeing a lot of damage coming on in. SKillous is really needing to find some more value with this 4-gate Blink.
I mean, he's all in on this. He absolutely has to find that value. He does have a nice concave, and we are starting to see some probes fall down. But again, the longer this goes, the more I tend to like it for ShaDoWn. But for now, SKillous continues to push his way in. Bit of a superior concave for ShaDoWn at the moment, but SKillous is just blinking better. And that has been the story of this match thus far. Yes, ShaDoWn had great pressure in the mid game on game 1, absolutely. But every time it just came down to pure blink control, it was absolutely something that SKillous was looking so much better at. So every single Stalker is not even in the red, just vanishingly small health bars, but they all survive, and now SKillous is going to warp in more. He's up 13 army supplies steadfast. There's an immortal, and that's actually a big problem, but he's going to blink on top of it here. 1 shot, 2 shot, it does go down. Gets a couple Stalkers, and SKillous, I mean, he had to kill the immortal here, but he's losing a bunch of his Stalkers, even still steadfast. It doesn't seem like it's going to matter.
No, it certainly isn't. SKillous was able to micro to perfection right there. We do see another immortal come out, and this time there's not as many Stalkers for SKillous, so blinking on it is a little scarier. He's going to go for it again. It will go down, but this time he might have overcommitted a little bit. No, it looks like he's still going to be able to continue this momentum. The target fire from SKillous has been brilliant, and he has been able to get an advantage here. He is now way too far ahead in this game. SKillous, even if he doesn't close this one out right here, which I think that the chance of him doing so is becoming increasingly high, even if he doesn't close it out, he has put himself into such a big lead. And ShaDoWn, I mean, I think it's time to maybe just go next. Yeah, there it is. GG gets called. SKillous shows some brilliant execution and evens the series at 1 apiece.
It's crazy that we are, what, 13 years into StarCraft's history, and we can see at the highest level, we just see that level of outskill in a blink battle. Yeah, four gates versus 2, absolutely. SKillous could build more, but I mean, look at that. You saw that first fight. It's like SKillous goes back, and every single Stalker he has is like 5 HP. You know, he goes back, regens the shields, one comes top of the immortal, kills it off, but 5 HP. Like, that is... And almost every Stalker of ShaDoWn goes down. That was such a display of skill that we saw out of SKillous right there. That is really, really impressive. So now as we look at this matchup and we kind of take a second to take stock of what we've seen over these first 2 games, we can kind of tell the story of, okay, SKillous in the skill matchup, right? His name is SKillous. In the skill wars seems like very heavily favored. And in maybe more of the mind games, in the kind of more macro whatever, maybe that's where ShaDoWn's going to have to play. Because, I mean, again, we saw this in multiple fights around SKillous' third in game 1. We saw this in this fight in game 2. At least in the Blink Stalker battles, it seems like they're on 2 different levels.
Yeah, I think SKillous definitely has the advantage there. But you can see from game 1 that ShaDoWn, with some great strategy, can kind of outscale that. Regardless, we're going to get into game 3, and we're going to see who advances on, because this is a really tight battle.
That it is. And in the bottom right, his life on the line, looking to advance into knockout round 2. Give it up for SKillous.
And his opponent spawning up the top right for the Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. Now, I wonder if this is the game where ShaDoWn comes in with a funky probe on the map and actually tries to get something done. But it looks like this time he's actually just going to forego the probe scout entirely. And he's just going to take that small little advantage in just terms of extra economy. SKillous, for his part, I mean, we saw in game numbers 1 and 2 that the probes, like, SKillous was very reactive to what he saw. And ShaDoWn, well, this time he's going to sneak the probe to the right side. I do wonder if there is aggressive intent this time. I'm really curious to see what he's going to do with this.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be, especially given the fact that we have, 2 games of history now, right? Yeah. On top of everything else. We saw a fake proxy in game 1. It was in game 2, we saw Schrodinger's proxy, just the pylon on the map to make SKillous a little bit afraid. So even if SKillous scouts that there is a lacking pylon in the main base, he has, right? He has a probe in there right now. That doesn't mean that this is a guaranteed proxy something on the map, but it will be, and it's going to be a robo on the way here. So Steadfast, it's the old French play. Game 3, all on the line, 3-gate robo.
Yep. Yeah, the old
Eric Fire.
The old Eric Fire, exactly. We are going to be seeing, by the way, SKillous saw that there was no gateway unit being produced. SKillous is going to figure this out. Now, the big question is, will he go for the expansion at all, or is he going to stay on one base himself? Ooh, SKillous. He should see this eventually. Oh, he's not going to see it initially. Oh my God, he might actually just do ring around the rosy.
He has no idea. The probe is not going to find this at all. And okay, well,
oh my God.
So Immortal already on the way at the start here. SKillous's response is going to be Stargate. Okay, this is really solid. You get a couple Void Rays, you shut down the Warp Prism. Immortals don't shoot up. You got to worry about Stalkers certainly. But for now, look at
SKillous's vision on the map right now. By the way, I just want to show you how much of it is covered. He sees like everything. 75 to 80% of the map.
Okay. He did see the Stalkers moving out. He did see the Stalkers briefly moving out onto the map.
Yeah. Okay. SKillous is going to see the Immortal. Okay, that's good. That's good. He needs to recall these Stalkers, though. Oh, boy. This is actually really awkward. He doesn't realize it's 3 Stalkers right here. This is so bad.
Yeah, he's going to lose one of them. That's a big problem. And he's building an Oracle, which is an interesting decision. Well, actually, first of all, he had an Oracle on the way. He canceled it, thought better of it, built it again. And what this is not Void Rays, right? This is not meant to win the fight. You build the Oracle, you send it across the map, and you force ShaDoWn to be as all in can be. But Steadfast, the army's already here. Like, Ancient Cistern is a long map. I'm not going to say that it's too far, but it feels like this Oracle is maybe going to be a little bit too late to accomplish what SKillous wants to accomplish.
It will certainly struggle a little bit. ShaDoWn is really wanting to go right now. Good force fields, but it will still be a quick pickup, and he gets out of here with everything. SKillous doesn't have a force field anymore. If he's going to have to warp in another one. We do see a Phoenix coming on in. Oracle turns on his pulsar cannon. There was no shield battery. ShaDoWn, playing extremely greedy, is going to bite him in the butt huge. And he has to warp in at home as well. Force fields come on in, but because the gateway was killed off, the units can just walk away. SKillous with 2 shield batteries will be able to sustain this, and he's got him an Immortal on the way. SKillous's crisis management has been quadruple S tier right now.
We saw that in game 1. Yes, damage was done, but it was because there was pressure in every single base. So now a little bit of counter damage here. Try to find.
Okay, no, we can't.
No. Scary situations though. A little bit of counter damage, right? Find its way in a couple workers here, and now with the shield battery and the Stalkers here, yes, this Oracle is not going to get anything more done. But Steadfast, now we run into the problem where that's 2 Stalkers. When this game is so close, it's so fraught. That's 4 army supply sitting back at home. That's 2 Stalkers that are not fighting. And the longer this goes on, the better it is for SKillous. He's able to hold on here, so ShaDoWn is backing out of the aggression. Yeah, you know, he continues to put damage on. He'd love to get this gateway if he can, but he's realizing that he cannot break the high ground, so it's a natural on the way. He's probing up behind this. He's getting a Twilight, and this does give SKillous a counter timing. He's going to see that there's a natural on the way. If he can break out here, maybe he can run across the map. But it also feels like he's going to have to do something right, because his economy is going to be pretty far behind, even with the Oracle damage that happened earlier.
I think this is such a huge advantage right now for SKillous with the Phoenixes, with the Immortals. ShaDoWn losing that Sentry means he cannot segment the army anymore. There's about to be a War Prism, so SKillous can start moving down the ramp aggressively with his Immortals. ShaDoWn is on the verge of potentially losing everything right away. That is such a smart recall. He needed to get out as soon as possible. And now he can build shield batteries on his side of the map. SKillous, he got a huge stasis ward. Can he chain it? Oh, that's brilliant from SKillous. Good quick pull from ShaDoWn. It came down to about a 0.2 difference between the stasis ward timing. That was so impressive that he chained that so nicely.
I don't think I've ever seen it chained that well. Like, normally it's like, we try to chain it and it, you know, it triggers
you're too
and
early
nothing
and
happens.
nothing happens, or you're way too late and nothing happens. That was amazing, and that's actually a lot of Stalkers not in the fight, but they will come back here. Shield battery is not yet done.
Briefly, as this fight kicks off, take a look at the income graph. It's bad. It's so bad. But anyways, here comes SKillous moving forward. It's 2 Immortals to 1. The Robo on the map is useless for ShaDoWn right now. So with a Warp Prism, with a Blink Micro, this, by the way, is a Warp Prism Blink Micro thing that only one person can do, because the Phoenix are here and they're going to be able to attempt to shoot down whatever they can. But for now, into the main base. And because it's 2 Phoenix, they one-shot probes. The shield battery's not going to do much of anything. Another stasis trap here. So yeah, you know, absolutely. It's 2 bases to 1, effectively. But the economic damage that SKillous is starting to find is really nice. That's a great force field, though. Gets 1 Stalker. Doesn't get the Immortal, though. And now SKillous is the one that's going to be forced to back up, or just a little bit. And as this game stabilizes, well, actually, it's not even going to do that. ShaDoWn is running across the map. But as we start to get ourselves up here into the mid game, you know, Blink on the way for both sides, shield batteries, the question we ask ourselves is, what can ShaDoWn do on the counter? He's up. He's actually down in army supply a little bit, but he's got this War Prism. He's got these Stalkers. He's trying to catch SKillous at the pass, but it seems like SKillous is going to be able to get home.
Yeah, I don't think I like this counterattack. I think going forward is very dangerous. With the Phoenixes, where are they right now, actually?
Other side.
Oh, they're on the other side of the map. That's actually huge. Okay, so the fact that the Phoenixes are not here makes this a viable counterattack. Still trying to go into the main base is very dangerous right now. The Immortals can't really contribute to the fight too much. 2 of them. Oh, man, this one is really derping around right here. Good War Prism Micro here from SKillous. ShaDoWn was able to get away with the majority of his units, and that's actually really important. I didn't think he was going to be able to do so. So the fact that he was able to save everything when he was fully committed into the main base, and his opponent's blink was faster, ShaDoWn gets away with one, so to speak. Now the Phoenixes get to go back on the other side of the map. They will be able to add some damage. Another stasis ward coming on into the main base. Ooh, ShaDoWn, though, will find this army split up a little bit, but nice force fields from SKillous. He does have Blink about to complete. This is such a tense game at this point.
It really is. Equal army supply. ShaDoWn, a couple workers in the good here. Blink done now for SKillous in 1 second. We've seen this Blink Micro. It's been so good, but it's Spirit Concave coming in from ShaDoWn right now. 1 Immortal will fall down here, so it's 2 on 1. And now SKillous looking to move forward, but not just yet. And I want to point out, by the way, how far away this War Prism was from the fight. It was not usable for Micro at all. ShaDoWn understood the blink timing as he recognized that, yeah, SKillous, if he catches wind of where that War Prism is, he blinks on top of it, he knocks it down. That's never going to be great. And SKillous again here on the stasis trap. Seems like this time it's only going to get 1 probe. But Steadfast, the amount of time that probes have not been mining out of that base because of the Oracle, because of the stasis trap, it's got to be on the order of like a minute and a half at this point. Despite the fact that ShaDoWn has been up on workers this entire game, you look at the economy graph, and it is very blue. Looking at what SKillous has been able to do, and now there's no shield battery at the 3rd. So, yeah, good on you, ShaDoWn. Your base is faster, your probes are faster, but if you're not mining from them, that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we will see an engagement breaking out here. Oh, big blink back from ShaDoWn right there. Gonna force him to disengage. The fact that the War Prism was not in the fight hurt ShaDoWn so much there. SKillous' micro potential was so much higher, and he really utilized it effectively. There was a couple of moments where an Immortal was shooting a Zealot for ShaDoWn. SKillous is just taking marginally better fights, but the margins are adding up. And as a result, we now see a pretty significant army supply advantage. ShaDoWn still has plays to make. Oh, SKillous. Oh, hang on. This is going to be a bait. Oh, Phoenixes. Hello. No. He's going to lose 2 of the 3, and that's quite nice because those Phoenixes were continuing to find chip damage on the probe. So the fact that now there's none of them left, well, that's a pretty big deal for ShaDoWn. That really takes some pressure off of him.
Yeah, that it really does. And ShaDoWn, he's got his 4th base on the way here. We saw how solid his macro was, right? His multitasking, his tactical play. We saw that on StarCraft in game 1. And now, okay, an observer gets out. That's really nice. This robo
just spotted the whole army.
Yeah, it did. And the robo should get finally shut down. But I mean, scouting the arm, actually not even going to get shut down. So now ShaDoWn should be in proper position to defend this decent concave setup, but he's down 30 army supply. +1's done in 10 seconds. But SKillous is going to look to attack right now, and he's going to blink on top of the Immortal. It's down immediately here. ShaDoWn was not paying attention. He was not microing properly. Everything was just sitting there on hold position, and now SKillous jumps on top of the pylon, knocks the shield battery overcharge down. This Warp Prism is just going to sit there saying, kill me, don't kill my army. But that army is going to fall down anyways. Probes get pulled, but SKillous, he shows his class. He shows why he has not won, or he's not lost this matchup in the last 7 showings. And Steadfast, that trend, despite how game 1 went, that trend does not seem to be stopping now.
No, it certainly doesn't. SKillous is going for the jugular right here. He drops another stasis ward on the main base for good measure. SKillous' performance in this series has been nothing short of magnificent. He has truly earned this one. ShaDoWn is going to blink into the main base, will clear out the 2 Immortals, but it's far too little too late. And SKillous at this point, he knows he will advance on to the next round.